Hello everyone, welcome back to Select All from Greg Adams. I'm Greg Adams, and today we're going to get into some SSIS. So let's just say you have a supervisor that comes to you and you're relatively new in your position, you haven't really messed with SSIS, and they request that they want the first name, last name, position, wage, hire date of all people in the company there. Current employees, and let's say they want it, on a weekly basis, just to kind of keep up with everything. Maybe the HR department wants it, or the payroll department wants it, and you could do it weekly manually by going to SQL Server and just writing the query, and then just doing a copy with headers, and then just posting it in a Excel file or flat file and then send it on their way. You could do that, but we're more efficient than that, and we kind of are more lazy, and we want the system to do it for us. So what do? Well, I'm about to tell you. So right now I'm going to show you a demonstration of how this works from the get-go. So I've already built this the solution to this problem, and what I do is click Start, Run. You have to choose a destination file and destination location for this file, and this is the result of, or this is the answer of what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you step by step what to do. I'm going to do it fairly quickly because I know this can be time consuming, and you may be on a deadline. So without further ado, let's get started. So you're going to open SSIS. You're going to go to a new project, and you're going to name this, I named it, current employees. Name it something that you'll remember, just in case you have to get back into it. Okay. So we have this open. So the first thing I would do, since you have this open, I would pause what you're doing with SSIS and go back to SQL. I would write the code that queries the data that you need. So in this case, let's say you just needed this. This is exactly what they wanted. These 6 columns here. Well, what I did was I made this query into a stored procedure, and I'll show you the stored procedure real quick. Let's see, ability, and I named it this. There's other code in here, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to show you the top part. So what I did was I wrote this first, and then you do the joins to your tables, and then for the sake of, you want the current employees, you would, since the database at VentureWorks 2017, it has nulls in the end date where people are currently employed, and if they're terminated, it'll have a date in it. We're only wanting nulls in that value, so we'll know that we actually got people that are not, we're not coupling in people that have been fired. So you write this code, and then you want to, in my opinion, the best practice would, I want a landing zone for this data, so SSIS can just query that table. I dumped it into a completely different database than VentureWorks. Now, I didn't show how I did this. I just did it, but I just created a completely new database on its own. I just went to right-clicked on database and clicked new database and just gave it a name. The reason I named it custom object is because it's a very vague name, and I did it on purpose so I can put things that I alter, things that I'm putting data into that may not be related to each other, so I know it's in a central hub. So for this sake, I put insert into the database name, which is custom objects, .dbo, which is the schema, which is basically an organization of all your tables, and then this is the table name, current employees. So once you do that, this table over here gets created instantly. And now after you do that, you can go to truncate table, the same thing right here, And what that'll do, it won't drop the table or anything, or erase the table. It'll erase all the data in that table, so it'll be fresh and ready for new things. So you won't overlap. You'll always have new. So once I did that, I did a create, instead of alter right here, it says create procedure, and then I named it, this right here, minus the DBO. The DBO is kind of assumed unless you create your own schema, and that will be in a different video. And then you put as, and then begin, and at the very end of all this code, you put end. And I'll write all this out in the description so everyone will have it. Once you do that and you run it, the way you run it is, let's do a new query. In this case, this particular procedure is called that. You type in the abbreviation for execute, and then you change databases depending on where you put the store procedure. You need to select that database. In my case, it's AdventureWorks 2017. You hit execute. It populates both of these tables down here. If you follow this video, you'll only populate one of them, which should be the 316 rows affected. And then once you do that, you know that it's populated. You do select top 1,000 rows. You see all your data here. Okay, this is the coolest thing about working with SQL and SSIS, because you can put code directly into SSIS to query this data. So our project was to do all this, and we have all this, and you want to order it by the hire date. So what I'm going to do is, since SQL or SSMS has wrote our code for us, we're going to go ahead and just attach order by hire date to the end of it. Rerun it just to make sure it works. It does. It orders this by hire date, and then Control C to copy. Okay, we go back in SSIS again. We were pretty much done with the SQL side of it. Now it's just doing this in SSIS. So first you want to do is data flow task. Drag it over here. In another video I will explain what these terms mean, but for the sake of this and for the sake of just getting things done, we're just going to point click and just going to tell you what to do. Once you get here, you'll have a lot more tasks to choose from. You'll need to go down to other sources, say other sources right here. You want to go to OLDB, which is basically the source for the database, and I think you can do other things too, but I've only done SQL. I want the new. I've connected more than one for practice, so you'll go to new. Okay, to get this, the server name, you go back to SQL, go all the way at the top of Object Explorer. It's this name right here. We'll go to Properties, highlight this with Control A and then Control C it, paste it in here with Control V. Don't worry about that. And then you select the database that you're in, and in my situation it's custom objects, and test connection. It'll be successful. Click OK, and I already have it in here, so I want to just use that. Here we're going to use SQL command. Go back, since we copied over this, just go back and copy it again, paste it in here. Here's what the magic happens. There's all the queried data. So make sure you click columns over here on the side, because it maps everything. Click OK. Okay, so now this is ready. This is ready and active and ready for destination to be attached to. So now, okay, so we're wanting to do a flat file for now. Flat file is just basically text files for systems. You take the arrow, the blue arrow, attach it to that. You'll see that there's an X here because it also needs a connection manager. You click new. The delimited fixed width, I'll do another video explaining these, but for our purposes we're just going to do delimited. Okay, here you'll want to basically build the file. So I already have a file in here called Current Employees. What if you don't have it, or you won't have it? Just go to New, Text Document, and just rename it Current Employees, all one word, and then just choose it. But since I already have it, I'm just going to select this. Okay, we're not going to do anything with the headers here. Actually, I lied. Column names is going to be in the first row, and we go to columns. Okay, here's how you can modify how it's displayed. We're wanting to do pipe, and then just hit refresh. It should reassort it. You have to do that. The SSIS is very finicky with, it's not very dynamic. Hit OK. And make sure you click mappings over here in the file destination editor. Okay. And now, let's run it and see what happens. If we're lucky, looks like all packages have passed. Okay. We go down here, and it looks like it's, at my time it's 7:28. It looks like it just ran. Let's see what's in it. Okay, so I got everything that I saw from here. 316 rows of current employees. So that's how you retrieve data from SQL Server and pass it to a CSV/text file, which is also called a flat file. In my next video, I'll show you to do the reverse way, because there'll be some instances where you'll get a file and it's easier, at least for me, to edit it in SQL Server. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.